So my name is Nathan Drews. This is my portfolio. To start, this was made this semester in Graphic Design 2 class. Um, Business card here. This is my logo for it in the top right. And then this was the card we made, having like some general contact info, website, and then on the flip side of it, QR code on the back. Um, Next project, this was personal one. Um, some friends of mine were starting up a landscaping business, and they had asked me to come up with some logos for them. And this was one of the main designs that they liked. It's kind of um, more of a simple logo for them, and they ended up using this on like some T-shirts and stuff that they ended up making. Next, this was for a Illustrator class I took last semester. Um, it's an infographic. The goal here was to um, make one that showed something progressively going upwards. Well, if it was like a graph or anything like that, I decided to do hockey salaries, and then to incorporate the two things together, I did the Stanley Cup made out of like cash all stacked up, and it's the different levels of hockey, each salary that they make at that level. Next up, this was for a Illustrator class as well. This was like a final project we had to do. We had to use gradients and kind of replicate a real life photo and get it the best we could with like reflections and size and everything like that. So this was just like the final project for that class to kind of wrap up everything we had learned. Next, this was for class at last semester as like a mobile web class. Um, we had to make a informational magazine article. Had to be 3 pages long, and we had to conclude. It was about a dozen different photos and stuff we had to go through, but this was the last page of that article. So there's kind of like my pull-out quote and title and all information on the right side. This whole article was about the Blackhawks upcoming season at the time. Next, this was another personal project that I did. I guess this is my like only official work that's out there published. A friend of mine was starting up a cryptocurrency. He wanted to make a coin that um, raised awareness for autism. So you can see it on the bottom right, the logo there. But um, the whole goal here was to show kind of the progression we were going to have as he launched the token, and kind of the roadmap here is what we called it. And then on the bottom left there, that is the logo for the coin. And then at the top there is the link to the website that has about a dozen different maps here and different things that we made for the website. We have like where to buy it, all things like that. Next is a poster we did here in I did in graphic design 2 this semester. Um, the goal was to kind of display some typography styles with different fonts and just unique ways of laying it out. So um, laid out the title on the left side here, and then all the text on the right. Next, this was made last semester in an Illustrator class. The goal was to make a futuristic company, and we had to come up with the logo and then we had to use gradient mesh and kind of go over real life objects. And then once we had the gradient meshes made, we had to add our logos on top of it. So I did like a futuristic hockey brand where it's kind of like self-lacing skates, super lightweight sticks, pucks that can like control themselves. So um, yeah, this is how that came out, and it's all displayed on like some ice. Next, this was for Illustrator class last semester. The goal here was to pick a book cover and kind of reimagine it in our own style. So I went with It by Stephen King and kind of um, did more of like a simple kind of scribbly style on the balloon, and um, yeah, made the spine back there. Next, this was for class last semester as well. This was for a fashion show that was coming up at Harper, so we had to kind of go off the title and kind of imagine our own theme for it. So this took a little bit of Photoshop and InDesign combined to get this project done. Next, this was for a Photoshop class I did my first semester at Harper. Um, this was for a YouTube project, so we had to um, look up a style you could do in Photoshop on YouTube, and then we had to apply that style and kind of make it our own, and then write a paper on how we came to this final project. So I kind of just did some um, texturing and some warping on a circle, and then added in some gradient and a lot of layering to kind of get this final look. Next, this was an Illustrator class last semester as well. The goal was to kind of replicate a poster and make it our own, using a lot of different styles of like clipping masks to get the balloons and all the striping in there, and gradients in the background, a lot of tracing and stuff like that. This is for a balloon festival. Next, this was for an Illustrator class last semester. This was um, very like time-consuming project here that we had to trace over an actual photo, and we were limited on two colors. So for the whole photo, so we had to use different tints to kind of achieve the look of making it look accurate to the photo. So this took a lot of tracing in Illustrator and just a lot of photo matching with like the colors and stuff like that. So this was a very time-consuming project here. And then finally, to finish it, this is resume with my logo and kind of color theme that I picked. This is made um, this semester in graphic design too, so it has yeah, all my information, skills, everything on there. So yeah, thank you for listening to my portfolio.